Hi, good morning. Hope you are enjoying your vacation, but make sure that you are using your time fruitfully. So, from the two lessons that I have already given you, I will ask some 10 questions. If you are able to answer these 10 questions, I can be assured that you have understood the lesson. So, write the answers for these questions. Number one, what is nationalism? Explain the term. Number two, which is the date of French Revolution? In history, you must remember many dates. So, in which year was the starting of the French Revolution? Then, number three, which were the measures introduced by the French revolutionaries? Remember, they adopted several new measures, and which were those measures? Number four, explain the Napoleonic Code. What are the stipulations of the Napoleonic Code, which was very, very important in those days? The measures introduced by Napoleon. Number five, what is feudalism? Explain the term feudalism. Number six, explain the term bonded labor. Bonded labor. Number seven, what do you understand by manorial dues? Manorial dues. Number eight, explain liberalism. Number nine, explain the term conservatism. And the last one, number 10, what do you understand by universal suffrage? If you can answer all these questions, then we can go to the following portions of the chapter, which is, of course, about the rise of nationalism in Europe. So, one thing you have to understand here, with the advent of the French Revolution, many young minds in Europe were inspired, and we find so many small revolutionary movements in different parts of Europe. Because after the defeat of Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo, which which occurred in 1815, two armies jointly defeated Napoleon at Waterloo. Napoleon was very strong, so two armies combined together to defeat him. One was the Anglo-Saxon, we can say the British army under Duke of Wellington, and the other army was from Prussia under the great Blucher. Blucher was their commander. So, with the defeat of Napoleon, so many young revolutionaries showed their face, and many of them had to go underground because the rulers who came after Napoleon, I told you, they revived monarchy. The kingship came back for at least for a short period, and they were against these revolutionaries, and many of them, they had to go underground. As you have seen in Indian history also, when communism was founded after independence, our governments were against communists. So many of the leaders went underground, and you can read about their stories. So many of the young minds in Europe, they went underground, but still they formed so many clubs, secret societies and secret clubs like that. We can study about them later, but I will just give you an idea about what happened in Greece after France. So I told you about a quotation which is very famous, said by Metternich. Metternich was from Austria, a great statesman, and he said, when France sneezes, the whole Europe catches cold. That is true. Even today, Paris or France is at the center. fashion or anything in fashion or art or cinema that happens, that occurs in Paris, it will easily spread to all parts of the world. So that was true at the time of revolution also. One such nation which was inspired very much by France was Greece. You know, Greece was the cradle of ancient European civilization. So important. We find so many great leaders in the ancient Greece, like the great Emperor Alexander, who came up to India, defeating so many nations. Then there was Homer, the great poet who wrote Iliad and Odyssey. He was a blind blind poet who lived in Athens. Greece was a conglomeration or a group of 7 states, 7 princely states, we call them. Then there were the great philosophers, the fathers of philosophy, we can call Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, all lived in Greece. Then, of course, there is the Olympics. The first ever Olympics started in Greece in the year 776 BC, 776 years before Christ. So, imagine the importance of Greece. And there was a movement called the Greek War of Independence, which started in the year 1821. Greek War of Independence, and they fought against the Turkish rulers or the Ottoman emperors. The Muslim rulers from Turkey, they were so powerful at that time, the Ottoman Empire, they ruled several countries in Europe, and Greeks were the one of the first, or Greece was one of the first nation to fight against the Ottoman Empire, so powerful an empire. But so many other Europeans supported Greece because Greece was a very favorable, adorable country for all of them, and ultimately the Ottoman Empire was defeated and Greece became independent. This was that also inspired several other countries. We can later see how it influenced Italy, the movements in Italy, later in Germany, like that. So one by one, nations of Europe became free and they established independent states.